Hey guys, come here, Tots. Doggy! Hey guys, welcome to another edition of 3 Count with Gino. We're going to be breaking down what happened at Deadline yesterday at NXT. For the first time, hey, calm down. Toddy's a little hyper. We got a crappy day today in at BC with weather-wise. It's been a long football day. Toddy's a little excited. Hey. As you can see, she wants to talk wrestling, but she wants to wrestle as well. Toddy, come here. But let's talk what happened in NXT Deadline. I thought it was an absolutely brilliant show, maybe the WWE show of the year, in my personal opinion. Very all the matches were very good. Great return. Kind of shocking to why it happened and when it happened. Um, like I've been saying for a while now, there's a girl that's been a breakout star, and she is the breakout star of 2025, and she's going to be a superstar in 2026. And they're finally building towards a feud that we're going to see happen in 2026. There was a little bit of more of a tease on it today. Yesterday on NXT Deadline. That being said, let's get into it and give the golds, the bronze, and the silver of NXT Deadline 2025 with the Iron Survivor Challenge matches. We're going to kick it off with Obafemi versus Ricky Saints, number 2. Ricky Saints was able to shock the world and defeat Obafemi, who I think should have been on the main roster by now. But the winner of this match is going to be facing Cody Rhodes on December the 13th, which is John Cena's last ever match in WWE, which is shocking that we're a week away from that. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I've never been the biggest John Cena fan, but I am a John Cena fan. You guys have seen me get emotional about it because my dad loved John Cena. He thought John Cena was everything, and John Cena is the be all end all when it comes to wrestling. The dude is brilliant. He gets every aspect of wrestling, and this retirement tour I think has been hit and miss. They wasted 6 months of it, unfortunately, due to that shitty heel turn. But we're getting the final match on December the 13th. It's going to be John Cena versus Gunther. For those of you that don't know, we have another match added to that. We have Bailey versus Salruka, and we're going to have the winner of Obafemi and Ricky Saints. Absolutely brilliant match. Great storytelling. With points where Ricky Saints was absolutely dominating Oba. He couldn't finish him. He was trying to prove it wasn't a fluke. Oba was showing his dominance, is tossing Ricky all over the place. A lot of false finishes, a lot of 1-2 oohs, a lot of kicking out of finishers. There's one really crazy 1-2 spot where Ricky hit his spear, got the 1-2, and Oba just got his foot on the bottom rope at 2.99999. There was a crazy almost count out spot and Oba got back in at 9.9999 as Ricky hit the Rochambeau on the table. So that was kind of close to keeping Ricky taping the belt, but um I think there's even a tease that Ricky maybe going heel because of what happened after the show and after the match and his interaction backstage later on in the night. The end came when Oba hit one fall from grace and Ricky kicked out at 2.9.87 or whatever you want to say. Both guys got up and they looked like they were exhausted. And Oba looked like he was a little bit rusty because he had a month and a half off. Looked like he was a little gassed. He might have been selling the match. Either way, Oba's incredibly good. And the dude should be on the main roster yesterday. They can run charging at each other just because Oba's a bit bigger. Ricky goes for something. I don't know what it was. But Oba catches him, puts him up, and hits a sit-out fall from grace and pins Ricky. So they are now 1-1. And your new two-time NXT champion, Obafemi, facing Cody Rhodes on December the 13th. If I'm WWE, I have Oba beat Cody. I know it's not for the belt, I don't believe. I think it's a champion versus champion. They haven't really clarified. Cody just said the winner is facing him on the John Cena retirement show. It shouldn't be for the belt. I think Oba should beat Cody to show Oba's dominance. Um, Following that, we have, sorry, by the way, gold plus for that match. Absolutely brilliant storytelling. Showed Oba and Ricky Saints showing their vulnerability and their ability to have just this insane chemistry together. Absolutely brilliant match. Great storytelling, great false finishes. Had threat of Ricky retaining, and the crowd was so behind Oba, it wasn't even funny in this match. Um, like I said, I'm gonna give that a gold plus. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Nothing bad about that match. If you're not a fan of WWE and NXT, you're gonna see this is why we like AEW better. Like I said, I'm not shitting on AEW. I'm not shitting on WWE. They both have completely different styles. I'm going off track here for a minute, guys. Going back to the War Games versus Blood and Guts. completely different setup to the type of match they are. One is legitimately going for what it says is going for the blood and the guts, whereas the other one is going for two teams going to war, willing to kill each other. I think the fact that blood has to be in wrestling instead of some matches kind of reminds me of the indies in the late 90s and early 80s of wrestling. I think that should fade out. And watching women bleed in wrestling matches to me is not something that's enjoyable personally. Don't get me wrong, Sky Blue, star breaking performance. In a week or two, I'm going to give you a couple of my stars and ups and downs, or sorry, golds and gold pluses and silvers and everything for the year on both companies. Um, but back into this. We have the Iron Survivor women's match. It was Sol Ruka, Jordan Parker, not Jordan Parker, former NXT champion Kalani Jordan, TNA and North American champion Kalani Jordan, former Speed and NXT North American champion Sol Ruka, Jordan Grace, Lola Vice, and the woman I said is going to be breakout star of the year, and she so far has been the breakout star this entire year. Kendall Gray, who is the Evolve champion, the only one you can see not former. Absolutely brilliant match. Kalani Jordan and Kendall Gray were the ones that started off this match. Kendall Gray got the very first fall with about 43 seconds left on the clock, because every 5-minute interval, another wrestler would be coming out to make it a triple threat. It started off one-on-one, went to triple fatal four-way, then five-way match. The third person out was Jordan Grace. Her and Kendall Gray had some moments. You could see there's parts where there wasn't just connecting throughout everyone in this match. There's a little clunky moments in this match, I'm not gonna lie. Overall, absolutely brilliant. There's one really cool spot where Sol Ruka actually got injured. Storyline by Kalani Jordan, who decided to go after her knee twice. She was gone for about a minute, came back with a knee brace, and she was down 2-0 to Kalani Jordan, Kendall Gray, Lola Vice, and Jordan Grace that all had two falls at this point. Hits a double soul snatcher, pins both Lola Vice and Kalani Jordan, puts them both in the box, and we stayed tied for about 5 minutes. And with about 45 seconds left, Lola Vice gets hit with almost every finisher, but because there's so much storytelling and layers to the story, at one point, the Kalani Jordan had re-injured Sol Ruka's knee again once Sol Ruka had drilled the Soul Snatcher on Lola Vice on the outside, and rolled her back into the ring. She was about to pin her, and then Kalani Jordan hit her frog splash, or her one-of-a-kind split link moonsault, I should say. Hits that. Jordan Grace hits Lola Vice, or hits Kalani Jordan with her Grace bomb. Grace under pressure, sorry. They end up brawling to the outside. 10 seconds left. Kendall Gray has about 4 seconds left in a penalty. She gets out of the penalty box, hits her Shades of Gray from the top rope, and with about 0.1 second left, she gets the 3 count. She takes the 3-2 lead, and Kendall Gray will be facing JC Jane in about 2 weeks at NXT New Year's Evo. I think she should be double champion. I think it is time for Fatal Influence in general to go up to the Fatal Attraction, Fatal Influence, whatever the fuck you want to call them, to go up to the main roster. You know, be really crazy if you had Jasmine Nix come back, resigned, and cost JC Jane the title. That'd be brilliant storytelling. Don't know if WWE will do that, but I think Kendall Gray and JC Jane is going to be one of the best matches of 2026 coming up. Kendall Gray is going to be an absolute superstar. There's a rocket ship strapped to this girl. She reminds me a lot of Trish Stratus. She's so smooth and effortless in the ring. Everything she does looks beautiful. Like a Kurt Angle-esque in a way, too. She's also got that wrestling background. She's drop dead gorgeous, charismatic as fuck. You can tell she has the ability to talk. She's in the Ren QCC. She's elevated Ren Sinclair. I think this girl's gonna be the next girl that's gonna carry this company for a very, very, very long time, as long as she wants to do it. As you can tell by my enthusiasm on this match, it is also gonna get a gold plus. Then we had the comedy relief match of the night. I guess you could say, yeah, Mr. Iguana versus Ethan Page. Ethan Page is underrated for how good this man actually is. So goddamn good. Very good match, couple funny spots, a couple of really good wrestling moves. Mr. Iguana is very talented. For those of you that have not seen this dude wrestle, he's very charismatic. He's athletic as hell. He's got the pet Layeska. The dude's got the ability to do everything. He sells so well. Even plays dead like an iguana would play dead when he knows he's in danger. Ethan Page is able to play off an opponent so well, and he's charismatic as fuck. And he's just got that point where you have to hate him, even though you really don't have to hate him. I think he's the longest reigning champion in all of WWE at this point. Um, after beating Ricky Saints for the North American title. Sorry, guys, I'm just watching that the Chiefs get their ass kicked on TV as I'm doing this. No, not a Lions fan, even though I have the Brandon Sanders shirt. I am a Steelers fan. Um, hey Taylor, you want to come say hello to everybody? Hey, you want to come say hello? Doggy's not playing. Why don't you play there right now? Very good match. Kind of sloppy at points, but also very good at points. There's points where Ethan Page has carried a majority of the match, and Mr. Iguana was able to do his comeback. There's one really cool spot where Ethan Page actually tucked Layeska, spit on him, and spit on her and threw her out of the crowd. Mr. Iguana snapped, went after Ethan Page. There's a very, very, very close finish from Mr. Iguana. And in the end, Ethan Page hit the twisted grin and was able to beat Mr. Iguana. No surprise there. Um, match was, to me, that match was just there for there. It was kind of like a filler match. Both these guys are very, very good wrestlers. It just didn't seem to click with the crowd or very good on it seemed very good on TV, but the crowd just wasn't into it as they were the first two matches. I'm gonna give it a silver just solely because it just didn't seem to connect. Following that, we had probably the weirdest match of the night because I don't think well, it made sense, but it also didn't make sense. We had Tatum Paxley versus what the hell's her name now? Izzy Dame, aka Mrs. Breaker. She's Braun Breaker's girlfriend. Um, she dominated majority of this match. The Carling also got involved in that match as well. There was a point where Izzy Dame was trying to make a comeback, and because she's obsessed with her dolls, Sean Spears gave her a doll and then ripped the doll's head off. Ended up costing her a little bit. She fought back into the match. She even hit her cemetery driver onto Izzy Dame onto the table and was going to get the victory. And that's when Sean Spears and Nico Collins got involved again, kind of teasing that there'd be outside interference. Didn't really happen. But like I said, Izzy Dame dominated the majority of this match. She was able to go mostly after Kalani Tatum Paxley's core. A lot of knees and backbreakers and stuff right there. And Tatum sold it perfectly. Get her screaming in pain, just keep grabbing at her stomach and her ribs and her back because that's all Izzy Dame kept attacking for some reason. There's even points when you can tell that Tatum Paxley was selling the fact that she felt betrayed perfectly. She had her makeup painted on with tears streaming down it. Selling the fact she was conflicted, didn't know if she should go after her former friend or not. Storyline alone, and the fact that the story is going to continue, I'm going to give that a gold. The match itself, for me, just wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I don't think Izzy Dame is ready for the pay-per-view level style yet. She's good on the TV shows. I don't think she's elevated herself to the level to be at that pay-per-view level where she can co-main event the show yet. It would have been a good first match, but they decided to go with the title match for the first match. Or title change could get the crowd going. I think the fact that the crowd reacted to this and the fact that it was in Tatum's hometown, just for me, it just didn't come off right. I think that she should have been able to overcome the odds in her home and be able to win the match, just get beat down by the Cullen afterwards and have her have to get a friend like a Lyra Valkyrie or somebody to get involved. Then we went backstage. So for that, I'm gonna give the whole thing just in general. I'm gonna give it a gold. Just I didn't like the actual outcome at the end, the way they laid the match out at the end, but overall was brilliant. We went backstage to a spot where you can see a little bit more teasing, kind of laying in plots where you don't know who's actually going to turn here. If it's going to be Sol or it's going to be Zarya. Sol was backstage on her phone doing a face conference call with Zarya. She apologized to Zarya for not being able to tell her before that she'd be facing Bayley and also for not being able to help her win the speed title. She just wanted time for herself, and Zarya was just going along with it because Zarya was not the most over with it. She also apologized for spearing Kendall Gray earlier in that week when she was aiming for Sol. And she said they need to talk when they get back. So I have a feeling Zarya is going to absolutely obliterate Sol or other way around in the rings in an in-ring statement. But one of these two is definitely going to have to turn heel. If not this year, at the beginning of 2026, they are going to have a little bit of a program with each other. I don't think Sol's going to get attacked before her match with Bayley, nor is she going to turn heel at her match before Bayley. maybe Zari has an outcome in the match with Bailey that leads to something in 2026. But like I said, there was a little bit of planting going on there, and then we had a little bit more planting because Ethan Page, or sorry, Ricky Saints was in the back just talking about how he's done, he can't beat over, he doesn't know what he's supposed to do, how's he supposed to go forward, and Javon Evans was talking to him and saying how he's going to win the Iron Survivor, and he's not going to wait till deadline. He's going to, or sorry, till till New Year's Evil. He is going to challenge Oba for the belt right away and win it. And you can tell Ricky had a little bit of a gleam, like a joy in his eye, because he thinks he can beat Javon Evans. Saying, "Yeah, I hope you do, and I hope you get that belt, because I'll be coming." But you can tell that Ricky had a plan that he wanted to. He's this kind of like maybe a heel turn coming from Ricky. We'll see. He's so over with the crowd. I don't know if you want to turn him heel, but I personally think Ricky Saints is better as a heel than he is a face. He just has that aura about him of being a heel. He seems like a slime ball, like that slime ball type character. If you get my drift, um, I never been the biggest Ricky Saints, Ricky Stark fan, so whatever they do with him, they do. Then we had our men's what's it called tournament? Our men's what the fuck? Iron Survivor. Sorry guys, I was having brain fart there. Smoked a little too much weed earlier. Iron Survivor match. It was the youngest in charge, Leon Slater. It was the young OG, Javon Evans. The guy that had the breakout performance of the entire thing, which is the leader of Dark State, whose name escapes me at the moment. These are all people picked by John Cena. We also had Joe Hendry and one sec, guys. Sorry, it's escaping me at the moment. Who's all in that match? Uh, give me a second here, guys. Joe Henry's in there for sure. Just give me a second here, guys. Why can't I think of the fifth guy? Um, Dion Lennox is Miles Bourne. So both the elimination Iron Survivor matches, 25 minutes each. So if you have about 50 minutes out of your time, go check those out. Absolutely brilliant matches. If you have about 18 minutes out of your day, go watch Obafemi and Ricky Saints. I think it might be one of the matches of 2025. Absolutely brilliant storytelling. Absolutely brilliant match. Really, Ricky Saints bumped his ass off. Obafemi bumped his ass off. Both these guys made each other look brilliant. Back to the main event. It was a very good match. There's a lot of storytelling, a lot of stories, layers into it. Dion the next came out, dominated when he had to come out. There's a little bit of a tease between the youngest in charge and the young OG that are part-time tag team, part-time rivals, going at each other. Um, a lot of really cool finishes, a lot of really cool near falls. There's a point where there was 4 people in the match, and the only person that had a point at that point was the young OG. And then all of a sudden, they all started getting pinned, so they all had 1 pin each. And with about 2 minutes left, the young OG was able to actually sneak up and get a pin on Miles Bourne and able to win. He is now facing Obafemi, but before the show goes off the air, like WWE likes to do, the Obafemi came out, and then credits started rolling, and then they went to the screen, and they had a dude walking on a bridge, and as soon as they walked on the bridge, you could tell what the bridge was. At least I could, and I just said that's the Dawn. Before he even came to the ring, screen goes black, arena goes black. Obafemi and Javon Evans are like, "What's going on? What's happening here?" Lights come back on. The Dawn is in the ring. Um, Javon Evans goes high five him. Dawn just hits him with his bada bing move and then covers him with black flowers for some reason. It's been about 5 months since we've seen the Dawn, aka Tony D'Angelo, the Dawn of NXT. I figured he'd be at the main roster by now. The rumors had been back. He is now back, and apparently he's targeted Javon Evans, or maybe he's sending a sign to Oberfemi. Overall, I thought both Survivor challenges were awesome. The Iron Man Survivor match, whatever you want to call it, was absolutely brilliant. I'm going to give that a gold plus too. Um, Overall, I'm going to give the whole show gold. It was an absolutely brilliant show. If you got about 3 hours out of your day, go check it out. Even if you want to watch it at intervals, I'd say watch the two Iron Survivor Challenge matches and the Oba match. And then if you have time, watch the other 2 matches. The Izzy Dane and Tatum Paxley match was not the best. I'm not gonna lie, it was good, but it was not the best. There's a lot of clunky moments in that. There was some good moments, there's some clunky moments. Overall, the show absolutely brilliant. Great storytelling, top to top, top to bottom. Producer of the year for me, without even a shadow of doubt. Shawn Michaels, Booker, sorry, whatever you want to call him. He's done absolutely brilliant things with NXT. And this might be the best NXT I've seen since the Black and Gold era. He's just making star after star after star. If you guys have anything to say, just comments below if you want. If not, enjoy the video, and we'll talk to you in a few days. Peace.